What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukishu. We are back with another Musume video. This video, we are here with Oguri Cap, as you can see. Obviously, I did mention her as one of the possible options I was going to train, and I did think about training Hogo Totomai. I had her set up pretty much the same thing as this Cap, but I was like, I don't want to train her. So I just went to Cap. So here we are, training Cap for the League of Heroes. For the setup, totally remembered that I could use my Measure Ramano card because it is a medium distance or mile medium. Decided to go try one power card instead of two stamina cards. So back to the Nishino Flower, but we are still running one stamina card along with the usual two speed cards. Well, for now, borrowing an Almond Eye speed card along with Still in Love, and then my speed Symbole group card, and that is pretty much it for the setup. So let me get the run all started, and while that's loading up with all that, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Requests for those who haven't joined the circle or are looking for a circle to join. All y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that once you send a request, it'll let me know that you want to join the circle, and then after that, head over to the comment section or to the circle requests channel. It'll let me know that let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But that being said, that is all on that. And as the comments are loading, we shall train a bit. I was thinking, if I do want Guts to go to 1200 at least, I think I probably would need... No. Well, it was working before because I did have two stamina cards, so I don't know. I might have to use a Guts card, not too sure. If I want to get 1200 for Guts, or just go back to 2 stamina, because obviously it was working with 2 stamina, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel. We'll see how I feel, and then let's see. We should be good there. Starting. You see how I said we should be good there, and then it wasn't? Well, it is what it is. I was about to start the comments then because, you know, I was like, all right, it's just 13%. It shouldn't be too bad, right? Prove me wrong, but whatever. Anyways, like I said, starting with the comments, we'll be starting off with Nova's comments. And the first one says, well, I see a pattern. You're probably going to make a video about Wuwa if I start showing you messed up team comps. No. Probably not. One, because if it's you specifically showing me, then I don't know. Because I feel like I won't, because I already know you've been fine and you've been chilling. Plus, you shouldn't have any problems because you've pulled for nearly every character. Like myself, although you have pulled more than I have because you have Brent. But you also swipe, so yeah, you're not really gonna get anything out of me. You're not really gonna get anything out of me, but for any game when it comes to messed up team comps, especially if I know you swipe. Second I know you swipe, you shouldn't have any issues. If you have issues and you swipe, then I'm sorry. You just suck at the game. I'm not even gonna say skill issues. I'm gonna say if you're swiping and you genuinely do suck, then you generally do suck at the game if you're swiping and you can't clear harder content. It's gonna be straight up. But that's what I gotta say to you. If it was Eugen doing the same thing, if he had played Wuwa, then probably. Then probably, but you, on the other hand, nah. Nah. Next comment, save for Oguri. Oh, shoo, I am. I didn't use any of my jewels, so we're good. We're good. I just say the most I'll do is tickets, so that is what I did. That is what I did, so no worries there. I believe the proper term here is you got flashed, and I don't know which part you're referring to. So I don't know how to respond to this, so I don't remember. There isn't any like specific there isn't anything for me to try and remember from, so yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember. So whatever you're responding to, I won't know. IRL stuff is important, man. I'm willing to give up gachas for a day. I know there are some people who would never give up a single day of gachas. Oh yeah, there are definitely people who wouldn't do that, but for me, I just make sure I get everything I need IRL done. And then when I know I'm good with time, that's when I sit down and just do everything. Of course, if I do find time over the day, I'll probably do like a little something, but other than that, no, for the most part, throughout the whole week, it's just daily story. If there's any story I need to record and all that. Banners, obviously, or other games, because Uma's pretty much Monday to Friday. And then yeah. So unless anything is that needs my attention, then it'll just have to wait. Other than that, I'm not really on the gacha games too long, even though I play a lot. I mean, it's just dailies for the most part. A new update comes out, I'll try to finish most of the story in the beginning like I normally do, so I could post it for you guys. But if it's like Star Rail or Genshin, I try to get that done as soon as possible. If I don't, then I usually just find time over like the weekend to catch up and do that. So yeah, IRL stuff has always been the priority. Always. I despise the runner meta, only betweener for me. Well, that's only that's only because, do you even like any runners? Like actually like runners as much as you like, or close to as much as you like Vivlos, or like in your top 5 Vista runner? If there isn't, then it's totally understandable. That explains why you just don't like runners in general, I'm gonna say. In general. I feel like you only say betweener because of Vivlos, so I feel like, yeah, for Vivlos, I don't even know what other betweeners. I say other betweeners because when I think of other characters, it's like a leader. I think it's the bottom. Plus, I don't want to just sit down and think. So, yeah. But moving on. Nope, I got triggered by Eugen. Never forget. Factor mustard. Oh well. It's true, though, if you can just focus a little bit more on Zenless, then he could be doing fairly well. I'll blame him for blaming me. No, you're right. I totally agree. I totally agree. Just a little bit more focus can go a long way. A little bit more. Maybe. Maybe. Take away a little bit of that manga manhwa time, reading time, and put in Zenless to work on your account a little bit, Eugen, if you're here. And fix it up a little bit. Once you get it fixed up, you don't really have to worry later on. At least that's how I've always managed my accounts when it comes to gacha games. Especially when it's a fairly new one. I guess we'll just rest. Yeah. Then we'll do the hopeful stakes? Or should I do the dirt races? Should I be doing dirt races? I'll do dirt races this time around. Why not? Second place. Second place. There we go. But one last thing with Uma, at least I did put in effort learning the scenarios and game mechanics. I give you that. I do give you that. you did do that at least. But yeah. I still don't see the reasoning to why you must spend an Uma, you specifically, when it's, you said so yourself, it's not like that kind of game for you. Well, at least like the kind of game where you would be spending for. Because the second I see myself spending in the game, at least that's how it's always been, unless it's like controlled as in only get this specific thing as in skins, but other than that, once again, what? Well, other than that, if it's especially for like pulling, like you're pulling, like you actually swipe for currency and all that, make your account better, which honestly you didn't need. Honestly, you didn't need. I'm gonna feel like I need to do better in the account at least. Not be all nonchalant, especially in a game like Uma, where the better cards you have, the better outcomes you'll get, what it seems. But we'll see. See, for Shushu, meta equals feelings. Me? Meta is feelings. Whatever I feels right. I mean, if it works, it works, right? I mean, if you're gonna say my meta is feelings, then my feelings is close to what the meta is if we're talking about other games. But yeah, I mean, like, it's like I said. I mean, like we all agree on before. I mean, don't necessarily care about the meta on the characters I care about. If they so happen to be meta, then that's just so happens the character is meta, right? Like, I knew day one, the second I saw Miyabi, that I was gonna pull her, without knowing how good she was gonna be, without knowing that she was gonna be basically the strongest DPS in the game, probably until 2.0. Probably until 2.0. But like a lot of the DPSs that was released were all good as well. We failed again. We were in the teens. We weren't like even the 20s. It's the second time again. That's the second time. I ain't crazy. It just does it. But yeah, I mean, also it helps that I do get the characters I pull for. So There is that. But even regardless of me going with feelings, I at least, if I at least would try and put the proper team around, if anything. What I want to do here, I'll just do a wise training. But meta equals math and stats for others. I mean, it all comes down to math because of the amount of damage and all that other calculating stuff. It's a lot of math. It's a lot of math. Meta for me is basically if they are huge. I already knew that. You made it painfully obvious already. But yeah. This is why characters that would normally, you would say over time, let's say like 2 years down the line, would most likely get power crept by then, but are still viable and strong. I would most likely probably still use because they're probably characters that I really, really do enjoy, like, and all of that. So yeah. In hindsight, I guess we should have been informed that this is the normal blue nodes. I agree. I agree. Because if I was told that if I was told what this shield defense was, because there's different other shield defenses, then would have shown that instead. And I would have been so strong with the ether weakness. But regardless, most of my advice still applies. Astra can still go with the Anbi team, except get Anbi out of there and leave Soldier 11 if we're really worried about fire weakness. Astra will still buff Soldier 11 regardless. And Chingy is just there to stun. But if he has Kaleda, if he has Kaleda built, then I don't see why not use Kaleda to stick with the fire weakness theme. But you can use Chingy, it's fine. It all comes down to how he plays. And then Astra gets replaced by Rina and Miyabi's team. Nothing from my team recommendation really did change besides swapping Anbi with Soldier 11, just eating one or the other, you know? So basically, everything I said was still correct. I just had to change one thing. But yes, it would have been nice to know which one. And this is why I tell you guys, I haven't said it really much often recently because it wasn't really necessarily happening a lot. But I'm gonna have to say it again. Starting now. Y'all don't want any misunderstandings, although there was a slight misunderstanding within me still trying to fix an issue. So it was kind of half and half in a way. But to avoid misunderstandings in the future, please be very specific on what we're talking about, especially if it'll go down to the details like that. Especially. That's all I ask, just to be more specific. Maybe I can get a plus 70 as a rest. Or plus 50. Wise training? Better than nothing. I'll do it. But think about how many rocks Yujin is missing out for each reset. Yeah, he's missing out on a lot. I don't remember. Do you have to clear the blue nodes before you unlock the reset? The one that resets? I don't exactly remember. It's been that long. I mean, it's been almost a year since the game's been out. So yeah, I don't remember. Because for me, it just feels like shield defense has been there forever. So, I mean, technically it has. So yeah. But yeah. The Uma overlays over the Zenless combat cracked me up for some reason, but the English dub is something I've never heard before. Oh, I left the overlays over. Yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. Only because... Sorry, my phone lit up behind me and I saw it when I was from the corner of my eye. Uh, yeah. I totally forgot because obviously I don't normally add anything else but Uma stuff. But yeah, I just forgot to fix that up. I was already behind in uploading also. Like, by the time I hit upload, I think I was already like 50 minutes behind. I don't know exactly when this uploaded, because I just let it upload while I did my own thing. So yeah. I thought everything was fine, because obviously in my mindset, when I was editing, it's like, oh, just an Uma video, completely disregarding the fact that I did do the whole Zenless thing, but oh well. I don't mind the English. Like I said, I'm not that much of a hater or anything. I don't know. I didn't know what else to say. Hater. I don't have mixed feelings about the English dub. To me, it's not bad. To me, it's not bad. I'm pretty sure we've all heard really bad English voice acting, and Zenless is definitely not one of them, at least to me. So it's fine. It's fine. Eugen responded saying, I feel like listening a foreign game, which I couldn't understand. Well, it's just weird because you obviously speak English. So it's weird. It's weird coming from you saying that. Or it could be foreign because you're maybe skipping around or not listening. Just saying, because you did say, honestly, told me that you did skip around, so I'm just saying some possibilities. I'm just saying some possibilities. But ain't no way it's foreign if we've been, you know, talking English this whole time, Eugen. No way. But moving on with Nova's comments still. But seriously though, the roulette is addicting. I'm gonna be doing those in the future. Dolphin Uma life feels good. I have no idea what you're talking about because I don't swipe, especially in Uma. I guess the next time will be 2.4 and Wua because of Carlota and Chun-Li, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point. It's always in the teens. They let me go with 19 and then with 17 they're like, nah, we're not gonna let you. I'm better off just doing another one of these. Nova says, I believe in swiping. You live and breathe it. Not only do you believe in it, you live and breathe it. Even for games that you don't put in that much effort in, for some reason. You may be a dolphin in Uma, but for everything combined, you are a whale. One hell of a whale. Alright? You can't deny it. Spent Benji's for Contarella. That's all I remember from recent update. But Benji's for a single character. Yeah. Wasn't even Golden Week. No special packs or whatever. No special deals and all that. You just straight up spent Benji's for Contarella. Probably bought whatever was there. So yeah. Then you said like $60 skins for Nikki. Yeah, no. $60 for a skin. I'm good. Good. What was it? I think Girls Frontline 2 had it for like what, 20 bucks? I'm good with the 20 bucks. That can get me 3 in Girls Frontline 2 if I wanted to. Yeah, that game. Even in that game, you said you were gonna basically pull for every single one, right? So that requires being a Giga Whale there. Nova, you are truly just a Giga Whale. Regardless of you saying you're a dolphin and Uma, behind that, you're just a whale. That's all it is. That's all it is. But my League of Heroes lineup will be Hako Tarumai swimsuit, Transcend, and Anniversary Falcon. I'm not gonna say Falco for you. If I see, if I know I can, if it's just a one-word letter difference, I'm just gonna say the rest. But Hogo Tarumai swimsuit, I believe that's meta. And then obviously the Smart Falcon one is, I think, slightly meta. Transcend, I didn't even know you had her. I didn't even know you had her because you don't pull for characters, so I'm assuming she just came along around when you were pulling for whatever. Are there more Nova comments? There's one more, right? Yeah. Let me let me schedule the race because I'm gonna forget. Yeah, I'm gonna forget this if I don't schedule it. Oh, perfect. We can just do these two instead of doing the ones at the end. But yeah, GFL 1's new event just dropped, and it's a pretty good start so far. The next event in GFL 1 will be the last one. Ooh. So they released GFL 2 knowing... Oh, that's pretty cool though. So they released GFL 2 knowing that GFL 1, I guess, was coming to a close? Like, did the story in GFL 1 already end, or is this like the last where it connects to GFL 2? Or I don't know, I know I'm missing things here. That's why. So that's why I'm asking. Left the way you did. There already talks about the formation of the URNC and the subsequent banning of dolls from daily life. Okay. The sad thing about playing GFL 2 is that now I know 416 is in the game. This makes the event from GFL 1 less serious. I won't give the specifics, but 416/Klukai is currently out of commission in the storyline so far. In fact, the event was building up the sadness about the whole thing last time, and I'm like thinking she's gonna be fine. It destroys the immersion for sure. All I mean, that is the problem of releasing a second game while the first one is still out, I guess, if I'm understanding correctly, at least. But it is what it is. I'm still enjoying GFL 2 regardless. But other than that, thank you, Nova, for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. Next comment is gonna be from Rick. Is it the only comment from Rick? Yes, it is the only comment from Rick. And it says, I guess I need Dirt Umas for PvP, but that's not my priority now. So I will skip this banner and only do the free pulls. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. It's just a League of Heroes. You don't have to take it too seriously. I mean, you could use Cap. like I probably am. So she's still technically a Dirt Uma because she got a B. A B? Or a D? Was it a B or a D? One of those. I don't entirely remember. I think it was a B. regardless. As long as you put inheritance in, you should be fine. Like you could say the same for El Condor Pasa, Marzensky. There are turf Umas you can use, so as long as you do the proper inheritance, obviously. Then Nova says, maybe too early for you. Medium, long, and even mile are still the mainstream ones. No, those are the mainstream ones. Mainly medium, mile distance. You will, and then short, long distance, because there's less of short and long distance races. And then dirt. That's just usually how it is. We'll mainly see the mile mediums, mainly on turf, and then we'll see them sprinkle the dirt races for mile medium. And then short distance and long distance will get thrown along the way. That's just how it's always been. Oh, we already did 2 races. Makes sense. So yeah. I wouldn't want or need to worry about it, especially if you say so yourself that it's not your priority. Then don't worry about it. Just simply don't worry about it. They are good. They are good dirt Umas though, but don't have to worry about it. League of Heroes, just worry about trying to get into platinum with whatever you have if you're not pulling. That's all I gotta say about that. But thank you, Rick, for the comment, and Nova for replying. Appreciate it as always. Next comments are gonna be from Eugen. First one says, yes, I blame Nova. Well, I did like Qingyi, but I got disappointed later because, you know, Chinese name. That's a personal problem. I was gonna say, you could keep saying it's because it's Chinese relevant, but you are playing a game that's being run by a Chinese company to begin with, and yeah, that's just a personal problem. So so it's kind of weird that you like Chingy, but because of a name, because it sounds a certain way, I did say before that this is a personal problem because it's leading a certain direction, which I don't want to mention. So yeah, if you know where I'm trying to lead to, that's what it's trying to. Well, that's what it sounds like to me. It just sounds that way to me. The more you talk about it, the more you talk about it and mention it, especially the specifics of you saying because it's this so and so name. So yeah. But anyways, well, since Miyabi came in, which is a really broken character, yes, she is. I was thinking to have a main fire DPS. I did ask Noah that maybe if I get Kaleda, the vowels are all mixed up around. The vowels are not in the proper spots in this one. There was hope, but it was stun as he mentioned, so or rip. Oh, I mean, you could have checked that. You looked at her. I blame Nova again. That's all you. Well, I will share my lineup formation I planned to later on Discord. And oh no, when Miyabi spoke English, I wasn't able to recognize her. Well, that's because I play in English. Y'all already know this. Y'all already know this. I ain't gonna change it for you guys. Oh, we'll go with the green. Nova says, I blame you for not being able to stand anything Chinese. He's got a point there. He's got a point there. I agree with Nova and that one. That is definitely a personal problem. Which sounds like it's a pretty, to me, from how it sounds, it seems kind of serious, which it's kind of uncomfortable. Kind of uncomfortable. knowing, even though he is playing, knowing he's playing a game from Chinese-based company. Kind of funny. Kind of funny, but don't want to know what Eugen would say on a bad day. Like when he's really, you know, don't want to know. But okay. Or, oh, that same old trick, 10 pull and 1 extra pull, getting a rainbow. Is it like deja vu, I guess, from previous pull? Even if it's a dupe, it's a win-win. And it's a loss. It's a loss to me because it's a dupe, and not only that, it's a dupe on a character, or except Cobblestone Light, but the other one, I think it was Aishin Flash. I haven't used her at all. So one is alright. One is eh. And all in all, it was not a win for me. It was not a win for me. See, I like how you're positive about that, but for your own future pulls, you're all negative Nancy and stuff. What's up with that, huh? What up with the whole bad juju vibe when it comes to yourself? When it comes to others, even though you're being either salty or whatever, it's still in more of a positive way, even if it's salty. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I'd rather be more more positive toward my pulls and be more negative in a funny way for others' pulls, but I ain't like that. I always wish luck for everyone. So yeah. Which is why that whole bad juju vibe you got going on with your own pulls, keep that on your side. Keep that on your side. I don't need to hear any of that. I don't need to hear your negativity. My hopeful vibes to get Soldier 0 from previous banner. Can you just call her Anby? It's Anby. It's literally Anby. She ain't no Soldier 0 no more. That's just the name of her design. Unlike Soldier 11, where she literally is just called Soldier 11 with everyone. Well, I guess besides Anby. But around 40 pulls and a 60? I didn't know you had an extra 20%. At first 10 pull, which I kept saying before the release, were simply stolen by Nova. Like I said, that negative juju stuff, get that out of here. All you do is be negative and blame Nova for like all the bad stuff. You gotta let that go. You gotta let that go. So yeah, I'll blame him, like the recent pulls in the game, for some reason again, while me staying on VC and drops by, then use me as a charm to get the mustard pull. I don't know what to say to that. You walked in while he was doing pulls, or was about to do pulls. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I can... Why is this really low? Looking at it now, why is this really low? Not even an A. I don't even have any more, so it's my last turn too, so I'm just gonna try and... Alright. Why is this really low? I don't know what happened with Wise there, but... Okay. The fact that Guts did better, probably because of stamina, most likely because of stamina, but... Yeesh. Anyways, those said, I used your voodoo, so I get the luck. But Eugen got the bad juju vibes. So you take Eugen's bad juju vibes and turn that into positive for yourself. Maybe? Or maybe is it when a negative and a negative turns into a positive situation? Anyway, Yujin responded back saying, going to almost pity or did I pity? I didn't notice almost hanging. Hanging? And got the 50-50 when I think another 80 pulls. Always been that like that to all previous agents. Going to almost pity or did I pity? I'm assuming you're asking Yujin, so I'm just gonna not respond to that. And then Nova says, I think my 30 pull Anby still got you triggered. I think that is just my Hoyo luck. 30 pulls for Anby still better than my pulls for Anby too, so. Although I'd say my Woo pulls were successful as well recently. I'm just not gonna go into specifics because it's still fairly recent. Oh, we're losing this, are we? We got one reset left. Huh, that's weird because Cap normally doesn't lose this, especially without Almanai being here. But, huh. It's okay. I wasn't going to use this one anyway. But yeah, I guess that is your Hoyo luck. And nope, not lastly. So I guess it's time for monthly report. Starting from the top, first 74 million. Who is this mustard? Well, that is you, Yujin. That is you, Yujin. That is you autoing while you're reading manga. Or manhwas. Or visual novels? I don't know. When you can also auto while fixing up your Zenless account as well. But second, Rick, 25.6. Mil, while second. Shushu, hey, I got third. 16.8 mil, come back in the ranks. At least I was able to go a little above than my average before, which was pretty much 15. C got 16.1. Haku, 15 mil. Kudos as for a new member. Ron Track 6, 14.1. Nova, 9.6. And Ren, 8.1. I don't got nothing to add into that. Like I said, I'm gonna try to average at least the usual, so like what I got right now. But I'll try to always try to at least go over if I can. But I can't. Hold on. Next comment, last comment from Yujin says, monthly metal pull got a non-dupe Halloween air shaker, so it's a win. But you're gonna say me getting a dupe is a win. You make no sense to me, Yujin. You make no sense to me. You make no sense to me, and I'll never understand. But Nova responded saying, I don't have enough medals. Hell, I don't either. Not right now, at least. And I know why exactly why you don't have enough medals, Nova, is because you're not doing enough trainings. So that's your fault. No asking for help if the reason why you're not getting enough medals is because you're not training enough. Even if it's just auto for the most part, but at least got the training done. No asking for help if you ain't doing anything to get the medals. Whether if it's auto or you manually training yourself. Tanoki responded back saying, Rip Nova, we will all remember you. Nova responded back saying, when you can just select which Umas you can get from the paid banner, Tanoki, I have already left you behind. Spoken like a whale, forget the dolphin. Forget dolphin. You may be a dolphin for now in Uma, but you talk like a whale. All right, you talk like a whale, which you generally just is. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. You're just a straight up whale at this point. We're not even gonna separate Uma from all the other games anymore, because the second you swiped in Uma was when you put it all together. You gathered them all up. What is it again? For this one. Sorry, I'm trying to figure something out. Depending on the amount of green skills you activated. That's Kapana Ricky's? I was curious because I haven't normally used Kapana Ricky as a parent. But I didn't know it was just green skill related. I only got like 2? 1? Do I have 2? 2? Maybe 3? Yeah, it's right turns, okay. Is this? No. That's not it. I don't think I have any of the tracks. Or I don't have the track. And I'm assuming spring, but this isn't spring. This is winter, because obviously Christmas Cap, and I don't remember that one. We'll just do some of these. Wait, hold on. I didn't. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I guess did get that. Prolonged descent. Could do that. Screw it. We'll do that. With 204, there's not really much I can pick. So we'll go back to the here and we'll just do these, yeah. But let's go finish off the comments. Tanoki says, who is this man? I don't even recognize him anymore. I miss Nova. And Nova responds back saying, I blame Eugen. I don't need to say anything else. I just felt like you just eventually got the itch at this point. That's how I see it. I'm gonna just say you eventually got the itch to pull for Uma, even though you know yourself that you don't play Uma like that. So, which is still weird. I'm gonna keep being weird about it. Because that's just whale behavior. I'm gonna just call it whale behavior. Spending on a game you don't need to spend for to me is whale behavior. At least you said so yourself. You didn't even need to spend. So no matter how much amount you put, you're long gone. You're long gone. See, I was okay with calling you free to play, even though your beginnings was being a whale, because you didn't spend for a while and you were doing fine, and you even said that you didn't need to spend. Then you started spending. You're just back to. You just got your title back. You regained the status you had from the past, basically. Is what I'm saying. No matter what you say, that's how I see it. And you talking praises of the paid banners. I'm assuming paid banners. Yeah, you're a whale. The way you just like talk about it in front of people and all that, there's response to comments like, yeah, you know, this and that, so freaking good. Yeah, you're a whale, Nova. And Uma. I'm gonna just say you're just a whale in general. You're not even specifics anymore. But thank you, Eugen, for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. And the last 2 comments is from Tanoki. As usual, no dupe, no complaints. And the monthly free 3-star medal gives me an OG Serious Symbole. Hey, not bad, I'll take it. Congrats on your non-dupe pull. And then Nova responded saying, I traded for rainbow shards. I no longer need Umas for now. Coming from the guy who literally didn't pull for any Umas until he started spending. Inoki says, just get both. With auto, getting enough medals is pretty easy. Just play the game. Right? Then Nova says, never. You will not stop me from playing other gachas. Uma isn't everything. I'm still playing Uma while I still play other gachas pretty much as you are, Nova, so I don't know what you're talking about, and you're just full of crap. You're full of crap. I can still play Uma. Not as much as these guys. But I can still put into auto runs, and I can still put into manual runs when I can. So yeah. And I don't spend an Uma. I'm gonna say that against you also. Now I can really troll around with your cards and all that for you spending in the game. I don't care about the amount you saved up now. Now that I know that you have gone the wrong path. Yup. But lastly from Tanoki, we finally getting a sequel to Casual Gate. It's the Shiyu Defense Saga and Get Not. And I'm gonna just correct it right now. And we got not just a cutscene, but an entire full scene changed to another game. Nova, up your game, you have a high bar to clear. See, the thing with Nova, I feel like the thing with Eugen, I was just trying to help him. But there was just a lot of there was a misunderstanding to begin with, even though advice still applies. It's just one change. And that was pretty much it. We were just talking about the wrong thing, but the same thing at the same time. So my advice was still there. It's just I could have just said fire weakness instead and all that, but it would have been more correct if it was more specific. Plus, he had and if I'm remembering correctly, before like months, weeks, whatever, he has mentioned here and there that he wasn't able to beat Shield Defense. But then this past 2 weeks, it became like more out there, so decided to dig into the issue. And not really getting much out of it. And when I finally do, I'm just like, what's going on? What are these red flags that I'm seeing? Mind you, I was not told the specifics, so I was going off what I know. What I know. So yeah, that's the difference there. I was genuinely trying to help Eugen. Genuinely trying to help Eugen. You, on the other hand, were a different story. you were trying to poke the bear, which you were. And in Nova, well, we just had a disagreement, like in the past. Nothing too serious, but for the most part, I think Nova, at least, there's nothing just seems to really like. he seems fine in his other options. I don't have to do anything about that. The most we can do is just, I don't know, judge each other's pulls. Whale versus non-whale. You can't really gauge the luck if someone is pulling, right? Or spending, right? So, yeah. Yeah. That's and let's see what else. I I felt like in the past I've caught Nova trying to trigger something. Also, I don't know. It just he doesn't really to the extent that you did Tanoki is a different story. Eugen is also a different story because I was just genuinely trying to help the guy. Genuinely just trying to help the guy. Because, you know, you hear someone complain about not being able to clear something, even though it shouldn't be too hard. For a while, you kind of just want to help the guy, and then you see what he's been using. Even with the misunderstanding, I still question why he's using that team for the fire weakness. So nothing really changes from my perspective. But yeah, I was just trying to help the guy. You were a different story. Like you genuinely just honestly irritated me. It was frustrating. It was frustrating. If you want to, like, honestly speaking. So yeah, there's a whole difference here between the scenarios. So like I could have totally did a whole different switch to a whole different game for a different reason. But yeah. And then Nova responded saying, I already did with Dishonor Gate. I just don't know if you were around or not. Was he? I don't know. This was like a few months in after like I started going over all these comments. I was like 2 years ago at least. At the very least 2 years ago. I still stand by my case even now. Cheating is bad. No, I'm not saying cheating is not bad. I'm just saying your old school Asian mentality was got to me on that. You know? Basically, basically you do something bad, you dishonor your whole family type of deal, type of stuff. Yeah. I don't roll with the old school ways. At least in these days. Like I get it, but move on. But move on. Other than that, let me refresh. I already see the result because I did click through, but it doesn't seem like there are any other comments. So with that being said, that's gonna be it for Tanoki. That's gonna be for the comments. Thank you, Tanoki, Nova, Rick, Eugen, Shinoki, Nova, Eugen, Rick, for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. And with that being said, we did get a UD4. Honestly, happy to see that I did manage to get an S on both medium distance and dirt. Just wish my Ys was higher. That's it. That's pretty much it. All I can really ask for is Ys is being higher. And whatever extra guts I can get and other stats, pretty much. So 1891 speed, 1282 stamina, 1330 power, 1078 guts, and 885 Ys. It's alright. Just need to get a good run. So this setup might actually work. This setup might work. So I'm gonna roll with it. But obviously that's not gonna be the top 3. In the top 3 of the caps I use or have trained. And I don't think there is anything much to talk about or anything like that. So with that being said, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Just let me know how you guys been. Let me know what y'all up to in prep for the League of Heroes. And if there's anything else y'all want to talk about, or ask me. Just keep it appropriate and I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request to join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle, and then after head over to the comments section or to the circle request channel. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace. 君はどうせ君だよ。